What's up, it's Marco, Sage of Soccer, and Portugal are through to the quarterfinals of the World Cup in an emphatic win over Switzerland. Just a great performance led by striker Gonzalo Ramos, who came in for Cristiano Ronaldo and got himself a hat trick, certainly justifying Fernando Santos' decision. And just an overall great game by Portugal. They're the better team, and they really showed it. This is a Portugal side that's been very pragmatic at times, even in their great wins at Euro 2016, some of the other runs they went on. So seeing them just step up and just pulverize Switzerland was really fun to see. Ramos had a great goal early on, then Pepe scored off a corner, and after that, Switzerland really had to push for a winner, and there's just a talent gap in between them. Switzerland, they have a great team, it's been really impressive, how consistent they've been. This is a team that still has the core of players that won, the U17 World Cup a few years ago. And it has been really good what they've done, like the Xhaka, Shaqiri, Ricardo Rodriguez. They've had a really good run in them. I think it's probably over now, but that's still very impressive what that Switzerland team has done. And they should be proud, but, man, Portugal were just the better side. Man, I'm loving the combination of Bruno Fernandes, João Felix, and Bernardo Silva. Just three really good attacking players. I'd love if they found a way to play Rafael Leao. I think you'd have to drop Octavio, and I'm not sure if you want to do that. So, it's understandable, but, man, he's been so good this tournament. Then William Carvalho, I think he's been really solid at defensive midfielder. He's a guy I liked for a while. Pepe and Ruben Diaz, they're doing well. Diego Dallo came in for João Cancelo. I thought that he's done really well. Cancelo, it's a little bit disappointing because, man, after having such a good season with Man City and really finding his role in that kind of inverted left back position, he hasn't been playing that for Portugal, and man, just hasn't been providing too much going forward. So it's understandable that Dallo came in, and probably the right decision. Rafael Guerreiro stepped up as well. I probably would have had Nuno Mendes starting, but after his injury, Guerreiro been filling in pretty well, and I think this is a good team. I will say that Diego Costa still looks like a bit of a weak point at goalkeeper. He's been a really good player at his time in Portugal, but man, for the national team, he hasn't looked solid. He's been making a couple mistakes, and you have to look at Rui Patricio, who isn't the same keeper he was in 2016, and even in 2016, I thought he was a little bit underrated, but, I don't know, if you look at the remaining goalkeepers, maybe he's better than Livkovic for Croatia. That's probably it, though. But, yeah, Costa, he's not been doing great. Then Ronaldo probably shouldn't have been starting this entire tournament. I think I said in my preview I would have had Diego Jota starting ahead of him, which obviously can't happen, but Ramos came in and did so well that, yeah. Look up Patrick Ewing theory. But anyway, on to Switzerland, and, after conceding first, they were always going to be in trouble. They really didn't have enough in them to take the game after going down, and once the play had to open up, they were just left themselves open to a really good Portuguese team. I think Fabian Schär just disappointing today. You can understand why Alvedi was starting ahead of him, even though I probably would have had Schär starting before this tournament started. But yeah, he wasn't good today. But despite that, and despite Switzerland moving on from a really good group of players, I think you look at the future and you're probably pretty excited. I mean, Koppel comes in for summer right away. Then you have Akanji and Alvedi. They'll still be there at center back. Switzerland, they have a lot of center backs. Brian Oko should really commit to the U.S., don't you think? And Zakaria and Sal in the midfield. You've got Vargas, the guy they subbed on late, Jashari. Then you got Mbolo and Okafor up front. There's a lot of potential there. But it could be even better than this group. But, man, the Xhaka, Shaqiri, Ricardo Rodriguez, Summer, they've been so consistent. It's going to be hard to live up to that, but I think they've got the talent to do so. So definitely going to be fun to watch Switzerland in the future. And Portugal, man, great performance by their squad. You have to look at them as contenders for the World Cup now. Morocco, they've been very good, but Portugal have to be favorites heading into that game. And the semifinals looks very realistic, and maybe they can get Ronaldo that World Cup trophy. And if Ronaldo gets that World Cup trophy and he ends up like really just having a good game in that World Cup final, like people are probably going to be looking at him as the greatest of all time. I'm not saying they should, but if he gets that title, like I think that'd be insane for his legacy. Pepe will probably be down as like an all-time great. Like it's going to do so much for a ton of these players' legacies, and it's really fun to watch the World Cup because of stuff like that. And yeah, I think that's all I've talked about. Really good game by Portugal. I think Switzerland will be back, but man, this Portuguese side is really good. And yeah, that's all I'll talk about. See ya.